everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I have the real pleasure to have with me today Jennifer Hernandez. She's with Legacy Mutual. She's one of my preferred lender. I've been working with her for, I guess,
I
since I
think
become a realtor.
7, 8 years. Yeah, a long time.
A very long time. So she teach me everything that I know regarding real estate, and then she's very on point. She has a great team that work with her. They know what they're doing, and they will follow up with you from the beginning all the way to the end. And you don't necessarily need to be fully ready today to purchase a home in order to talk to her. You can talk to her anytime if you have any questions regarding lending. All right, I'm gonna let Jennifer introduce herself to you now.
Hi, Jennifer Hernandez, Legacy Mutual Mortgage. I am pleased to be here. Thank you so much. I think we've known each other 10 years, Danielle, actually, that long.
So today we're going to mainly talk about refinancing. A lot of you contacted me directly and asked me question about is it a good time or not to refinance, because a lot of you heard that the interest rate are pretty good. Is it good just for buyer, or is it also good for anybody that already own a home and would like to move forward? So Jennifer, tell me, what do you think? Is it a good time right now to refinance if the person owned the house for maybe 5 years, 3 years, or even 10 years or more?
So it does depend where your rate is. So first, everybody, unless they live under a rock, which doesn't happen often, everybody has heard that rates are super low. But just a couple of things to keep in mind as you're out there looking. Refinance rates are a little bit higher than purchase rates right now. So keep that in mind. And if you're going to cash out and take cash out of your equity, you can do that up to 80% of the total value. The rates are even a little bit higher. So just keep that in mind as you're looking around. It depends on if it's good for you, depending on what your loan balance is and how much you can save. So for example, if your loan balance is $200,000 and you can save 1% in interest rate, then you're saving $2,000 a year in interest expense. So that's pretty worth it, because closing costs will vary. I don't want to start quoting costs, but you should expect that closing costs could be anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000, depending on your loan amount, depending on how long you've lived in the house. You do get a credit on title, lender's title policy. And in addition to that, if you're going to buy down any points. So when you see a lot of closing costs as advertised, or when you see super rock bottom rates advertised that look too good to be true, it's usually because there's a lot of extra closing costs with it. So, again, it really depends. The best thing is to get with a lender super quickly. We have just a quick conversation with people and have you fill out like a 10 or 15 questionnaire and email quickly, so we can see if it's worth it before we take you through a bunch of painful paperwork. So that's how we do it. We're happy. You can go to my website, Loan with Jen, LOANWITHJEN.com, and you can get my email there, and just email us, and we'll be happy to advise on that if it makes sense for you.
So when you say the interest rate a little bit higher, what's the general? Is it maybe 1% more, 2% more, or it really depends on the person?
It depends on the credit score for sure, but it's anywhere from 0.1 to 0.2% higher than on a primary residence.
Okay, and what's the credit score? Which type of credit score you need to have in order to be able to refinance? Is it same as buying a house, or is it different?
It's the same as buying a house, but again, the interest rate is very, very sensitive to what your rate is going to be, just like on buying a house. So, and again, I'm talking about primary purchase and primary refinance. If it's an investment, it's different as well, and we do those. It's just, your expectation has to be different. They're just different rates for that. So yeah, on a primary refinance, it's the same. If you are doing the cash out loan where you want to take some equity out, maybe you want to do some improvements or pay off some debt, you definitely need to have above a 700 for that, a 700 score for sure. So it's a little more stringent, but otherwise, yeah, we're going to determine what the best rate term is for you. And it might be FHA and it might be conventional. So it depends. Do you have PMI? Do you not have PMI? Do you have enough appreciation to waive the PMI? There's so many questions that are going to determine the rate and the fees. So getting to a lender as quickly as possible. But if you can save at least 1% interest rate, it probably is a good thing for you to do. Yeah.
Okay. And then some people told me they heard that there is some fees that were imposed by the state or the government. I'm not sure. They can be up to $10,000, and sometimes it doesn't always make sense to refinance right now. What do you think about
The
this?
fee is not monetary to the client. The fee is absorbed by the lender, and that's why the rates are higher. That's why I mentioned that the rate is anywhere from 0.1 to 0.2 higher, is because of that fee. So December 1st, it's going to start, but lenders had to start it with loans that they were locking in November, so that when we deliver them to Fannie Mae, that fee is already imposed. So all of the rates that you're getting right now will have the fee already included, meaning it's already reflected in the interest rate. So it's not an actual fee. It's usually passed off in the form of a higher interest rate. Yes, that is true. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac said, hey, we need to have a cost to the buyer for all this early payoff. And, I mean, they're having a lot of issues behind the scenes with early payoffs. So they want to make up for it in some way, shape, or form. So
so
it's mandatory fee.
It doesn't matter if it's a conventional or FHA loan or a VA
It's only
loan.
on conventional. So the fee is not on FHA. So FHA,
oh, that's good.
FHA purchase and FHA refi should be the same. But on conventional, you'll see a little bit of a difference between a refi versus a purchase.
Okay, this is awesome. This is very good nuggets to know. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I truly appreciate it. And then, so how long someone needs to be living in the house before refinancing it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, ideally a year, but there's no restriction. There's no hard wall of a date. So yeah, no, I mean, we're talking to people right now. People are calling us that just refinance, that just financed a year ago, for sure.
Okay, and how long do you have to stay in the house before you decide to put it on the market for rental for sale? So some people will come and just refinancing it, but the refinance we're talking about is for primary residence. But if the person decides to refinance, how long does he have before he can move or sell the house?
So again, there's no restriction, but they're signing, if they know that they're going to have it as a rental in the near future, I don't suggest that they refi, because they're perjuring themselves on the application. The application is a federal document, and it says that we intend to occupy this as our primary residence for 1 year. So if that's not the truth, I do not recommend that they sign a document saying that. That's a federal document, and they need to intend to live there as their primary for 1 year.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I truly appreciate it. So we really learned a lot regarding refinance. So anybody that have questions regarding lending and refinancing their property, Jennifer is my girl. She's right there. She will be able to provide you all the information that you need in order for you to contact her. Go ahead, Jennifer. How can people reach you?
The best way, just go to my website, Loan with Jen. You can call me 713-579-3611, and also go to our website, loanwithjen.com, and my phone number and email is there. So maybe you could just post it on this video. You could post the website. They can get to me.
Yes. So if you have any other question regarding real estate, it doesn't matter, for the greater Houston area, or you have some suggestion, feel free to let me know. You can subscribe to our channel or put comment with what other subject you would like to have for next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.